Good afternoon, everyone. So I thought I'd just do a little vlog. I'm out going shopping, and I thought today's topic would be: what do you use to lift your bike off the ground to do any kind of maintenance or repairs? I've just had a bit of difficulty with this one, being able to get the front end off the ground safely, as I wanted to remove my own wheels and take them to a tyre depot to have my new tyres fitted, without it costing me kind of double the price to get the job done by having someone else fit, having to take the wheels off and refit the wheels and do all that kind of stuff. Now, I've got a paddock stand for the back and I've got a scissor lift for the centre, but this bike weighs 280 kilos, I think, or 283 kilos on wet weight. But my front paddock stand wouldn't go anywhere near the front end, and quite frankly, I don't think I trust it to hold the front end of this bike because it is just so heavy. So after speaking to a few people on the forums and things like that, a lot of people have, they've either got proper lifts, or some gentleman in Australia had an adapter made for his. Nice chap, I'm sure it's Yorkshire Biking or Yorkshire Biker or something like that. On YouTube you'll find him. He's also on the Varadero forums. He showed me what he uses to lift his bike, and personally myself, I don't like what he's using. To me, it just seems a bit like it's going to give way. I don't particularly like that version. The chap in Australia had a friend make him like an adapter plate for a motorcycle pump lift. Kind of pump lift you get from like Halfords and things like that. It was like a kind of like a big pump truck, but smaller for a motorcycle, if that makes sense. And he had a little adapter made which goes onto the foot pegs, and then it sits then onto the front of the frame of the bike as well. So when it lifts it up, it lifts it all up in the centre with the weight carried correctly, which he said cost him about 260, I don't know if it was dollars or whatever it was out there, but that's in materials, that what it's cost to get the thing made with the amount of adaptations and trials and testing. Obviously now that it's been made, his friend could probably make it a lot cheaper. So that is one option. I've had a look at the other stands and I can't find anything that makes an adapter for a Varadero. I could be wrong, there is probably one out there, but I can't find it. But again, the other stand, I don't know, it just seems too flimsy. So I'm kind of looking at maybe something a bit more substantial, but to do that I'm going to have to spend some serious money, which probably would pay for itself over time if I bought a proper lift and things like that, because I've got other bikes I could use it on and friends could use it and things like that. It would pay for itself in the long run. But it's a lot of money to shell out very quickly on something that, you're going to use once in a while probably. I don't know, it's a hard one because I want to be able to do things myself. I don't, I'm capable of doing the things myself. I don't need someone else to do it for me. So it's difficult. The only thing I do need doing is the tyres fitting. I've never fitted a tyre on a motorcycle in my life, and I'm pretty sure if someone showed me, I'd be able to do it, and then buy, the machinery to do it. But yeah, it's a hard one. Like, what do you use? Because you want to make sure that whatever you're using is going to be substantially correct for the bike that you're using. And like I say, this thing is a big old heavy thing. It really is. And when you start moving it around, it worries me so much about it dropping on its side. I can't even tell you. It's just yeah, it worries me a lot. So unfortunately my tyres are having to get fitted by someone else. It's booked in with Demon Tweaks. Anyone who knows Demon Tweaks knows it's a massive, very well known place for motorsports, motorcycles and all that kind of stuff, and performance modifications for cars as well as motorcycles. So they are doing my tyres for me next week. I've just fitted the EBC rear disc to this bike yesterday, which was fine. I could put this bike on a paddock stand and put the small little scissor stand in the centre, and that will hold this bike enough for me to do everything I want to do, rear end and in the centre and things like that. But Oh, lifting that front end gives me, yeah, it makes me nervous. Very, very nervous. Because it's just a lot to drop. Now, if you've seen like a lot of different things that people use, sometimes I wonder how they get away with it, like using blocks and big paving slabs on bricks and things like that. And I'm just like, oh god, there's me anxiety just watching it. Me, I want to be able to put it onto something and then ratchet strap it down flush so it's not moving anywhere. Because the amount of anxiety I'll get from doing that is, when it goes over, it's a big old thing to pick up, and oh, I don't know. It's not my kind of thing. I would much prefer to have it, kind of clamped down. If you could build some kind of frame that would clamp around the frame, and then you clamp the frame to the apparatus, and then that's like bolted to the concrete. That would be my ideal situation, where everything's just bolted down and you lift it up and it ain't going to go anywhere. That would be my ideal thing. Maybe that is something I could design and have someone put into production and make my fortunes. And oh, look at this person on stripping his roads, just walking across the road, didn't even look. Well done, sir. Yeah, maybe it's something I could look into designing. Then maybe if it's something that I would buy, I'm pretty sure other people like GS owners, Harley riders, people with like bikes of big weight, Triumph rockets, all those kinds of things, I'm pretty sure someone might buy it. It's got to be something I could look into, surely. Any ideas, people? Let me know. If you'd buy it and I could design it, let me know. I'll sit there in front of a piece of paper and do some stupid scribbles. Because funny enough, that's where the best ideas kind of started. Most people sitting down in a pub or at home and they can't do something, or they want something to look a certain way, and they just start drawing things. I'm not a drawer or a designer of any kind, but I'm pretty sure I could knock something up. On today, guys, let me know what you think. What do you guys use? Because I'd be very interested to know what is actually safe to use out there. Which, especially the GS owners. Any GS owners watching this, what the hell do you use to get the front end on? I know, like most people use a center stand. This bike does not have a center stand. I can buy one, but they are ridiculously expensive. So yeah, all the GS owners, if you're not putting things on center stands and you really need that thing up in the air, and you're doing it at home, what are you using? Leave a little comment for me so I can see it, or a little cheeky link of something that you do use or you've purchased or come up with. That'd be great. So yeah, I'd appreciate that, because I can't just keep going to a garage every time I want to lift the front end up. It's just ridiculous, especially when I can do the work myself. I'm looking for cheaper alternatives that I can use until I can afford the big boy toys. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. I've got my taste today for the CVT instructor next Friday. Yeah, next Friday. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully see what that's about. Tyres fitted on Thursday, so if I am using my own bike, at least I'll have some nice tyres to ride on. I don't think I probably will be using my own bike, because obviously I think they'll probably have their own bikes that I can use, but you never know. And if they are, I would like something nice to use while I'm riding. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.